main topic back
I
then.
remember.
And this was some really good insights, because the equity side of Venice was like really nice to trade around, right? Because this offered me like, yeah, I was short bias. You can say, oh, this is a free drive, whatever, I don't care. I shorted around here, and the thesis played out pretty simple. And look how the token underperformed with Venice. I think the product itself is doing pretty well. And I think it's a nice to look back and see how disconnected sometimes tokens can be from equity. I think another example, which is playing out in real time, is ONDO Finance. And I had one really nice trade which would have hit TP this morning, but I pushed it out too early. Was because this was very close. Like, it reminded me of VEV so much in our conversation. I saw the headline: ONDO Finance evaluates $350 to $500 million acquisition, sources say. And I was like, something feels off, right? Because if I remember correctly, like ONDO never collected much dollars. So I think they raised like 25 and 10 million. Let's say they raised like $14 million in cash for their operations back then, and like shareholders got a bit of equity and tokens. So they're sitting on like an insane amount of token treasury, which is still like worth, I think, around $1 billion. We have also, this is where Agent Pear comes into mind. I remember like Agent Pear told me once out of like the blue that he was saying, yeah, you can, because I was referring to ONDO as a short, like, and he was saying, yeah, keep in mind on ONDO, there are like 40% market cap addition unlocks in January 2027. I think this was like in May or June or something when I had the conversation with AP. I was like, yeah, this is good to know, because if ONDO pumps into end of year, also knowing that the founder, rest in peace, died, and probably lots of venture capitalists that invested into the founder are now saying, well, the person that were the reason for us to invest into this is now gone. I don't know if I trust the new CEO. They will probably sell in January. So, and then I was seeing the numbers that they are evaluating a 255 million acquisition. It kind of screams to me like they are selling tokens, even though it's just rumors and they were denying it. I mean, the token since then, like, is down only in a week. And I think if you see ONDO pumping into end of year, this will be a similar trade than VV. Again, I don't know if it ever does. Maybe it's already dead.
Well, I think the other thing that's happening here with the whole token equity kind of conversation is the market is kind of converging on the idea that we no longer need 10,000 different tokens, right? There's going to be like 10 to 15 tokens, and the ones that are A, transparent on token versus equity split, and B, have very clear value accrual back to the token, they're the things that are going to get inflows. And I'm like, from a fundamentals perspective, I'm tempted to just say that you could even do a basket of just tokens that, if you go to Blockworks and look at their token transparency framework,
Sure,
you could just find tokens that are in the Blockworks token transparency framework, find how they respond to equity and value accrual back to the token, just go long that entire basket and short others, and I think you'd be okay.
That's nice to see Pear up front there. Yeah, I'll be posting this in chat. I think this is, I'll be looking at that for myself as well later on.
Also like to file one of these, because I just went through it. It's an intense thing. Like, you need to dedicate days and days of time to file one of these things and then give complete transparency on everything about your business. And I think the teams that do, like Peak, PEAQ, I think they're doing some interesting stuff. There's a wealth of information, and the best thing now is you can run this through Claude. So you just take that site, you bang it through Claude, and then you just say, hey, look, find me the most investable longs in this universe, and then come to Agent Pear and be like, hey, I want to go long this basket of stuff. I want to go short some stuff against it. Can you suggest me some shorts and how to weight it? And I think the combination of using Claude and Pear is going to become even more powerful when we release the Pear MCP server, which I'm hearing is going to be in a few days.
Yeah, I'm hearing things. I like it. I like it. I'll look into it. I think this is reading between the lines. I think there is some value in there, and I think there will be trades around that. And I agree. Claude really stepped up when it comes to like financial decisions and like reading the user and understanding like how I trade. Because I'm working with Claude since ages, And I kind of tend to journal nowadays, like some things that have been really well and have been really bad with Claude. So he is aware of that in the future. And it's kind of funny how Claude adopted already the pair trading thinking when it comes to crypto. It's like funny because Claude already understood like how to trade crypto nowadays, and I really stand by that, is that you trade based off all performances. There are like so many factors that could kill your performance when it comes to directional trading when you're not laser focused and have a position open more than one day. I would say scalping is a different bread, but pair trading is a really good way to handle the market nowadays, and AI, like LLMs, agree, and those LLMs have been really stepping up and are pretty good when you know how to talk to them and how to frame stuff. And it's really nice to observe all that in live action. I think Agent Pair kind of fits into that as well. And like Agent Pair plus Claude seems powerful combination, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and just like if I can, because people ask all the time, like, is Agent Pair just a Claude wrapper or is it just a like ChatGPT wrapper or something? What Agent Pair is, first of all, is all these models are as good as the data it has access to. So Agent Pair is trained on 18 months of data, including our own real-time statistical library. So at any given time, if you say, hey, I want to go long, let's say like HYPE versus XRP, it's not going to give you information based on what's on the internet. It's going to give you information what's based on Pair's backend. And that's like one key differentiator, which is hard to replicate. The other thing that makes Agent Pair so good is over the past 18 months, it's become highly specialized at pair and basket trading. And so it's not going to give you like some bullshit analysis about MACD or whatever else. It's really going to be like, here's the trades, here's the correlations, here's like the narrative right now, and here's how I would size it based on beta. And then the final thing, which I think makes Agent Pair so kind of unique, is you can store your preferences. And so if you're chatting to it on Telegram or soon on desktop, you can basically say, hey, look, these are the assets I want to trade. These are the kind of ways I like to be, either net long, net short, whatever. I like to take a 1 to 3 day time frame, and then it will just personalize its responses to you over time. And I know you can save your memory on every single LLM, but I think in a trading context in particular, like having a relationship between what you ask the agent and it being able to see your execution is really, really powerful.
Yeah, I don't know if that's yeah. I remember this trade, and looking back, it's super clean. Like this content short, like it was a matter of time until this gets repriced out of the top 20. Like the valuation doesn't make any sense at all. And now with the Clarity Act gone and venture capital selling, yeah, by the way, this has been super controlled selling into capitulation now. But ETF flows, as you're seeing, I think it's nice to see them picking up, and especially this inflow streak on IBIT is the most important one, because I don't care too much about outflows of any other venue than BlackRock. But also, I don't know if you've heard this interview of Larry Fink. It was the first time he was kind of like bullish, telling about crypto in ages, and this was happening like a few days ago, where he was saying, yeah, the big problem in crypto was, especially also in crypto, he talked about leverage in general, was like, this was the big problem also for crypto. Now the leverage is gone and it looks way more compelling to him again. And from this day on, I think on the mark, you see BlackRock ETF flows coming into that. So his words definitely have some weight. And it's nice to see BTC holding. And I think if we are at the 65K and close a few daily candles above, I mean, this looks intriguing to go at least for a gap fill to 73K. The only thing that is kind of bearish right now, or screaming bearish, is the Orderbook Depth, like the passive side of things. I talked with Moby on that because he was like asking the question, like the flow on ETH looked way better than Bitcoin, or like Bitcoin flow has been generally pretty weak and we still haven't broken down. And I was saying like same conversation that we just had, right? I was saying, yeah, usually like I haven't looked into it too closely, but whenever Bitcoin got into the low 60s, Orderbook Depth skewed to the buy side, and there was just not enough momentum to break through the lows. And now for the second time, we have like stacked asks above, But once they are cleared, I think this opens the gap to 73k. But if the summer, kind of slow summer thing where like Orderbook Depth is enough to break lower time frame trends, then this is probably a local top area. Yeah, but would I short here? I mean, your invalidation would be probably above those asks, but I think the risk reward of shorting here is still pretty bad. I think if you want to express shorts, then it's through pair trades where you have like a long leg where you believe that it drops less than others.
Makes sense. And for the people that are maybe new to the stream, could you clarify what you mean by Orderbook Depth when you look at something like Kiyotaka there?
Yeah, like Orderbook Depth is pretty simple. In this case, I have a spread of the 2%, which is 2% above current price and 2% below current price. And Kiyotaka tracks the limits that are in those ranges, and if there is one side more stacked than the other, right? So in this case, we have $185 million worth of ask sell orders in the Binance perp book. And if you look at Orderbook Depth, you can see that it backtracks like every hourly spread here. And this is the average spread that has been during this hourly candle. And you see some correlation between price and the Orderbook Depth, right? And you see whenever like we come down sharply and the Orderbook Depth is positive, this was when we bottomed out, right? Then we moved up sharply, but Orderbook Depth was negative. Yeah, this is when we topped out. And right now we are moving up aggressive, and Orderbook Depth is skewed to the ask side. So this was in the last few weeks like a local top area. If you see this break though, this is a pretty big signal that this consolidation probably extends to, because consolidation always extends to one or the other side. Guess what, right? But I think breaking this cluster or like this repeating pattern would increase the percentages of this gapping out to the upside in such a fashion that longs are favored a lot here. So yeah, I'm definitely not bearish here, and looking at this flow and tape accelerating, and you want to take some risk, you could long into those asks here and just see if the market is strong and is able to, and then you can go to lower time frame then to absorb those, right? And if you see the market absorbing those big asks quick, then probably shorts above here are getting squeezed. But so far there is definitely some business to do because there is quite some ask fall above a lower time frame. But nice. It seems clear that the market is taking those asks here.
Also seems clear that the market wants to go up, so that's good for my pair trades that I'm in, my basket trades.
Yeah, also like I'm a big fan of Bitcoin dominance, being able to kind of show some strength again for the first time after STRC buyings. If I look at this one, it's a decent chance that Bitcoin dominance has bottomed already. Or like another chart that is even more bullish, I would say, is the Bitcoin/others chart. And this would make so much sense on higher time frame to see this being bottomed like what's 18 days after Saylor started selling and we had this capitulation leg in Bitcoin. Because like we said at the start of the stream, there are so many points without any value accrual. It's hard to rationalize things that Bitcoin should underperform then going in the future. So yeah, I believe that this was the bottom of the cycle for BTC others already, and now this is bullish. Obviously, this is a bullish setup. Now it's like the question when Bitcoin USD bottoms, and I think the bottom calls will get kind of loud if we are able to squeeze into the low 70s. And I think you just TP then and observe, and you just add back if BTC is able to flip 77k then. But 72, 73k, like this point of breakdown in May, I think is a great TP spot for now.